Hello, my name is Adrienne. If you're watching one of my videos for the very first time, I love to share information with you to help empower you, especially moms who stay at home and homeschool. I want to give you information that will help you create a stable and healthy environment for your kids. I love homeschooling and I love sharing ways to live toxin-free. So I'm doing a series where I'm talking about the 4 different pillars of health. Last week's video was on your physical health. This week I'm going to talk about mental health, and mental health and emotions kind of mix together, so I'm going to do my very best to keep them separate. This one is going to focus just on mental health, and unfortunately mental health is such a huge area that I feel like is neglected, and I feel like it is on the rise. COVID only added to the stress that was already there for mental health. I feel like we're not equipped to handle. I used to teach in public school, and I saw firsthand the lack of resources available for tons of my students who could have benefited extremely from just different supports that they could have had to help with their mental health. So according to my research just a few weeks ago, 18% of adults struggle with a mental disorder, high stress levels, and 20% of kids have a mental disorder. That is so sad, you guys. Common stressors, according to what I researched in my own personal experience: money, work, family, and health concerns. Those are kind of like the main things that are creating the breakdowns. So I just thought and researched some potential areas or things that you could do to help your mental state of your body, because there are the 4 main pillars like I mentioned in last week's video, and if one pillar, one area of your health is kind of out of whack, it's just going to pull the others down with it. You're not going to be your best self. You're not going to be able to do as much as you were designed by God to do if your other areas of your body, your health, are not in line and not performing what they're supposed to be doing. We have a brain that is amazing, that God designed to do so many different things, but if we have all these other things kind of blocking, it's almost like roadblocks in the way to do what we were created to do. All right, I'm going to try to stay focused and stay on my notes because this video could get super long. So the first thing I thought would be cool, fun, good for your brain is to challenge yourself. Maybe learn a new skill, maybe create something, do a puzzle, get your brain active. When I was in high school, college, maybe those Sudoku puzzles became really popular, where you had the numbers and it could only be 1 through 9 across and down and in the box, and it was just a critical thinking area of your brain was activated. If you're not into that, maybe you could do like word searches or word puzzles or word scrambles, something where you have to think creatively to come up with an answer or a solution. My daughter had a speech issue when she was younger, so we started learning sign language, and I discovered that I love learning sign language. So that is something that I work on kind of in the background. Just anything that you can do that's different for your brain. I've also heard that if you're right-handed, you should occasionally do things with your left hand, because you're making your brain think differently about a common task, like brushing your teeth that you do without even thinking, or turning on the light switches, or cutting up steak for dinner. Like if you switch your hands, then your brain is like, wait a minute, and it has to kind of like pay attention, and it's not on the whole autopilot thing. So it's just a different way of thinking, a different way of living that's actually activating your brain in different ways, if that makes sense. Your subconscious mind influences what you are doing, even if you don't realize it. It also influences how you behave, how you feel, how you act. Your subconscious mind knows everything, and it remembers everything that's ever happened to you, even when you're a little baby, days old, hours old. I've read so many crazy stories where they use muscle testing, which is activating your subconscious mind by using your muscles in your body. Your body and your mind will not allow you to lie. It's kind of like the whole premise of a lie detector test. Your muscles do different things when you're being honest compared to when you are lying. So if you ask certain specific targeted questions and you feel your muscles, you can actually find out crazy answers about yourself. And there's a great book called The Emotion Code. It's up there, or else I'd grab it and show it to you. The Emotion Code was really eye-opening for me, and there are a lot of testimonies in there where people have used muscle testing to figure out why they have certain beliefs, and There's one crazy story that I will always remember. This mom could not figure out what was wrong with her baby, and it was way back in the time where they used safety pins for diapers, and she had safety pinned the baby's diaper to the baby, and this adult was having some like emotional, mental issues with that, and they were able to use muscle testing to figure out why, which was like mind-blowing to me. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So you can use muscle testing if you research that online. There's tons of information, lots of people that are way better at it than me. A common way to muscle test is just to do this, and if you have a yes, if something is true, your body will not, your muscles will not break. This chain will not break. If it's false, then it will break. So you could ask a question that would be a yes or no question, and then if the link was solid like this, that's a yes. If it breaks, then that's a no. So truth, lie, or fact, not true. And that's just a way for you to test and kind of speak to your part of your mind that you might not have access to. The mind is very powerful, and there are tons and tons of research resources available, so you can go down sort of a rabbit trail. So I'll just caution you with that. If you're wanting to learn more about muscle testing, you're going to find a ton of resources. Again, I'd recommend the Emotion Code book to start, and that'll kind of explain lots of things that I don't have time to get into in this video. There's direct correlations with our thoughts and our recovery when we are sick. Your positivity and your speaking life and health over your body goes a long way, even when you are not well. So if you are battling some kind of illness or sickness or even a disease, they've actually done studies where they have people who are positively minded, like naturally, and then people who are pessimistic or negatively minded, and the positive people actually recover. Their recovery rate is way better than the negative minded people, which I thought was pretty interesting. I knew that words were powerful, but I learned that in one of the books that I read. You are what you think. Self-talk is super important. You probably knew that already, but if you think about it in terms of your health and what you're saying to yourself about your body and about your health, that's important too. It's really important to regulate that. Our words are going to release power in a certain direction. Do you want that power and that release to be in a way that is going to bring life to your body or death to your body? Like, you're going to want to get better, so you need to speak that over yourself and make that your just your mantra that you repeat in your brain, or when you have a negative thought, that you take that captive, like it says in the Bible, and you do not allow that to just steep in your brain and create those common pathways and common thoughts. Pastor Craig Groeschel at my church did a whole series on mental health, and it was very eye-opening. He does have a book, Winning the War in Your Mind. If you want to check that out, that is super powerful and awesome read if mental health is something that you want to learn more about. He says our lives are always moving in the direction of our strongest thoughts. What we think shapes who we are, and I could not agree with him more. So make sure your thoughts are representing the life that you want to live. A few essential oils, because you know I can't do a video without dropping those in there. A few essential oils for the brain: lavender, lemon, peppermint, and clary sage. Those are my go-to single oils when I have some mental fog going on or I just need to focus better. Those are great oils to grab. I hope this video was beneficial, and stay tuned for next week's video on emotional health.